Ask you about Ameer Abdullah moving forward in 2017. Supposedly he's healthy. The Lions have done nothing of note to adjust their running game situation. Nothing. And I'm very excited to talk to you about this, Scott. They've done nothing to address the running game situation. We know Theo Riddick's role is secure. He's the passing down back. His role is not going anywhere. Ameer Abdullah, they are talking him up yet again. All they have done is sign Matt Asiata. That's it. So Ameer Abdullah is there. Zach Zenner, who had an okay end of the year last year, is there. And then you say that, Scott, and that noise.
I know who's coming, Scott.
But your pick as the sleeper running back in Detroit and in all of fantasy football in 2017 is Dwayne Washington.
Yep. Abdullah, it's interesting because it gives you pause because when the front office doesn't do anything and they leave him there, you think they still have the confidence in him. But the guy he doesn't stay healthy. And I don't even know when he's on the field how large of a role he's going to be able to handle because he can't stay healthy. The offensive line is somewhat improved. Dwayne Washington.
Is it improved? It's worse.
Yes.
It's worse.
It's worse?
Yeah.
They went out and got some guys in the
They
offense.
did get some guys. They
lost Taylor Decker.
They lost.
They
but they brought in two new guys. They've revamped the line.
I don't think this offensive line has improved at all, to be honest with you.
They've revamped the line during the offseason. I won't get you those changes.
No problem.
And I think Dwayne Washington couldn't find any running room last year.
According to Pro Football Focus, the Detroit Lions are the worst offensive line in the NFC North. And although they spent money the last 2 years, as you said, it's an issue. According to Pro Football Focus.
It's an issue, but I think it'll be better than last year.
I think they say it's better
overall.
pass blocking than run blocking.
That's an issue. This is an issue. They bring in Greg Robinson, who sucks. They bring in Cyrus, the guy from the Bills, who was voted the best backup offensive lineman last year. When he's not in a hot field, high as balls.
And who else did they bring? Didn't they bring in Riley Reif, I think?
No, Riley Reif left.
I'm sorry. Who did they bring in to replace him, though? Well, let me take a look at the offensive line.
They added Graham Glasgow last year. They bring in Cornelius. This offensive line's not good.
I'll say this: I don't have a share.
They signed Rick. They signed Rick Wagner, and they brought in T.J. Lang. That's probably
right. Yeah, I like the Lang signing a lot.
But he's hurt.
But he's not out for the season.
No, he should be back for training camp. I'm just saying he's hurt now. I don't know how much improved this offensive line is going to be. I apologize for jumping down your throat, Scott. Please continue.
Dwayne Washington, I think the offensive line is going to be better. It was pretty darn bad last year. And when you had a guy like T.J. Lang, that's one improvement there. I'm pulling up the depth chart here so I can, they got Greg Robinson now.
Sucks.
They have Travis Swanson doesn't suck.
No, I got
to ask a question. Are you going to draft Dwayne Washington in a 16-round draft?
Maybe he's my final pick. Yeah, that's why I put him as my sleeper. I feel like this line is going to be a little bit improved this year, at least. I think the Lions went out and made some moves to make things better here. Getting Robinson, getting Lang, I think will improve things overall, and I think there'll be more running room for a power speed combination like Dwayne Washington.
I'm going to tell you this.
I think Zenner is mediocre. Abdullah can't stay healthy. Riddick can't run the ball. I think Dwayne Washington in his second year, like he talks about, he got a taste last year. It wasn't a good taste, but I think he's more talented than what we saw last year.
What was the exact quote you just gave me on Zach Zenner? What did you describe him as?
Mediocre.
What makes you think Dwayne Washington's better?
I think he's a more talented running back.
From what?
I think he's got more speed than Zach Zenner. He's got more burst than Zach Zenner.
Does he?
Zach Zenner is just like he's a jag.
Well,
no, I think there's a. I'll give you an opportunity. 1 second. I think there's a better chance that Dwayne Washington gets cut than he's successful in 2017.
I disagree with you. That's why I put him as my sleeper.
I understand.
I think he's a talented kid who just had a a mess of a first season, and he's due to rebound.
Well, you hit on this. That'll be impressive, Scott. I mean, I'm heading into the 30th round of my draft champions, which is it's a best ball format, 35 rounds, no in-season pickups, and I do have him in my queue, Dwayne Washington. He is still available.
30 rounds. And I get this is a deep sleeper here, Scotty.
Yeah.
But this is, I mean, this is your one running back. Tell us a sleeper. Here's what I'll say. And I talked about this on the fantasy football.
I'll give him that.
This is what I talked about the fantasy football best friends yesterday. There is no such thing as a sleeper anymore. Dwayne Washington is a sleeper.
Yeah. No.
There's no such thing as a sleeper. The other guys in this list that we're going to read about for the next 20 minutes, they are not sleepers. Dwayne Washington is a sleeper.
I even go
So
as
I will
far
give
as
you that,
saying
Scott.
he's on like life support. Like, you know. No, if he hits, that's great. But I mean, I don't know. I can't see myself drafting him in a 16 rounder. I don't even know about. I wouldn't draft him in a 20 rounder. But Scott might be right. Scott likes him, so you know.
Yeah, I mean, Scott's bringing it out, and if he's right, all the credit to the king on this, 1,000%.
If he's wrong, he'll be whipped and beaten. Though.
I will very much destroy him.
When is Taylor Decker coming back? Or is
Not.
He's not. That's why they signed Greg Robinson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Greg Robinson's terrible. Like, beyond
Well, didn't
terrible.
he get traded for
He
like a
got
6th
traded for
round?
nothing, yeah. And they try, I can't
They
even
brought in T.J. Lang and Ricky Wagner.
Is he the right side? So if he's
Yeah.
the right side of the line,
Yeah.
absolutely. But signing Cyrus Quendio.
Well, can we get back to Ameer Abdullah for a second?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
that's the guy I think we need to talk about.
And then you got I'm sorry, you got Lakin Tomlinson and Graham Glasgow. So you know,
Those guys aren't
well,
good.
the bottom
They're not
line
good.
here, but the bottom line here is
They're still improving.
If Ameer Abdullah can show something, Dwayne Washington is not even going to be a thought. I mean, Ameer Abdullah does have talent. I own 0 shares right now, and I've done quite a few drafts. But I think at some point I do want to have something with Ameer Abdullah. It's kind of a guy that I'm kind of torn on because I'm really not a fan. But what do we say in fantasy football? What is one of the most important things? It's opportunity. The opportunity is there for him. He is the guy that is pretty much, they're saying, look, here's the keys. You are the running back for this team. I understand health issues and all that stuff, but he's a guy that maybe I got to redo a deep dive on and see where I go. Because I know there are some people that do like him, so it's going to be interesting.
Chris Ventura was here last week. He really likes him, but I just feel like the line is going to be adequate enough. When you add a guy like T.J. Lang to like lead the line, and Swanson isn't that bad for sure. And they added some other guys. They got some improving young guys. I think in the offseason, they dedicated themselves to try to improve the blocking. I believe this kid, if he gets openings and there's more opportunities for openings this year, I think he's a power speed combo. And if Abdullah was to go down, which wouldn't shock any of us all, I think he gets opportunity and takes advantage of it.
I think ultimately when Ameer Abdullah went down last year, everyone spent a ton of fab on Dwayne Washington, right? Like this is the guy everybody ran to, and I think ultimately what happened and what really would happen again. Take Dwayne Washington out of it for a moment. Take Zach Zenner out of it for a moment. It's just gonna be more Theo Riddick. I just think what they'll do is just go away from the run entirely.
I don't think so. I think the blocking will be somewhat improved, and I think Dwayne Washington can take advantage.